Hi everyone, welcome back to this week weekly market update. So for this week, there's no music. Basically, I've been playing music for my last two videos. So basically, just want to do a quick update what's happening on the market as well, and mainly touches on certain of the index as usual, and then we go to individual stocks as I have warned you guys previously on my last video or way before. All right, so we come to our Facebook page as well, because there's one thing I would like to highlight is actually pound US dollar. I said that it may hit the parity, provided reason is in the video. If you have watched it, you should know. All right, and I also give you guys to monitor a certain level where you should do the shorting because it's going to parity. Parity, just to update you guys, is saying that pound to USD is going to be 1:1. All right, one USD is going to be 1 pound. Going forward, reason given. Go and watch the video in my YouTube if you have not watched it. So what's happening on last Friday itself, we can see that Dow dropped 600 point, Nasdaq closed 3% lowers as rate pop after September job report. So what is September job report? Is like I mentioned, right, last week or usually the first week of the month. Is actually the non-farm payroll, the unemployment rate. So what happened is that last Friday the report came in slightly below the estimate. Is slightly below. Usually when we talk about slightly below, the market is not doing good, correct or not? But when we talk about the unemployment rate, it came down as well, dropped from 3.7 to 3.5%. It's actually telling us it's a good thing because the economy is doing good. Why? Because employment rate go higher, correct or not? More hiring out there. By right, this is a good news to the economy itself. Why? Because it show that more jobs out there, creations, more company expanding. But the thing is that right now, this is the classic of good news equals to bad news. Why? Because when the good news of showing unemployment rate came down, it gave a reason for Fed to continue to hike the interest rate. Not to forget, currently we are at this environment on the high inflation rate. All right, so these actually bring up the chances of the next rate hike to 80+% for another 75 basis point. And that is what, when you look at the news or CNBC or any other website, right, financial website, it can tell you that it gives Fed the higher charges or the percentage actually increase, all right, to another 75%. This put the nail in the coffin for another 75 basis point in the November reports, all right, in the November Fed meeting. So what does this mean? Which I always mention, increase the rate will pull down the economy, all right, and it will strengthen the dollar. So all this has been talking. I've been talking all this in my past videos. So if you are not very sure, can just look back. Other than that, AMD, the stock has tumbled because it's provide a third quarter revenue earning. All right, saying that it will be lower than anticipated. So I think it dropped quite significantly on last Friday itself. We can look at the chart later on. Not only on that, just to watch out on this coming week, right? We are actually experience our first quarter earning reports again, starting from the bank itself on Friday. Of course, there's more similar like Pepsi, Delta Airline, but the main focus in the financial sector at this moment. When we're talking about financial sector, one of the things that I'd like to bring you guys up is actually Credit Suisse. So if you have been paying attention, what happened to Credit Suisse is because they have their CDS, credit default swap, reached the highest, I think higher than the global financial crisis in 2008. So basically, what is credit default swap? You guys can go Investopedia to find out. It's actually telling to layman term. Today Credit Suisse sell bond. I buy the bond. I'm actually lending their money. I'm the lender, so they are borrowing money. I worry that they will go default, so I go to the derivative to buy this default swap to protect myself. All right, just especially transfer my risk. So if let's say the CDS going higher and higher, meaning to say that people out there is getting worried that it will come through. Credit Suisse will go default. So in order to protect themselves, they keep buying this derivative to protect them. But then Credit Suisse actually came in and then say that to just give stabilize on their stocks, they are going to buy back 3 billion Swiss franc worth of debt security today. Basically, it's their buy back their shares lah, okay, to buy back their debt security. So this actually make the shares to go higher. All right, they want to buy back 3 billion of their debt and also sell their landmark hotel as a credit fear persists. All right, so this is what happening to Credit Suisse at the moment. We'll be looking at the chart, so you see the default swap has continued to raise this year. All right, very high, very high. All right, so we come into this charting later on. Is there any opportunity? So this default swap, you guys can go and Google. Next thing is on Tesla. Tesla, I think he just announced that Elon Musk will buy on Twitter, and this caused Twitter to surge to the buyout level. I think it's around 54 level, if I'm not wrong. But then the price dropped back as well a little bit because Elon Musk also say that their sales, okay, they reported their sales over the weekend. The production and the delivery number did not meet the analyst expectations. All right, didn't meet the analyst expectation doesn't mean that bad. Doesn't mean they don't have sales. It's just that slightly a bit shine off. But I think it's because of this buyout from Twitter, right? It's actually weakened the Tesla market cap because when you buy another company, you need to pay, right? And current environment, Elon Musk actually paid at a high price for Twitter, and where we see this environment market has been dropping, even though he paid at this price, it's actually who is the ultimate benefit? The current Twitter shareholders, the director, correct or not? Because they are actually buying, he's buying at 50 plus dollar, whereby after he bought in, I believe Twitter have room to drop, all right? Has room to drop, all right? Agreed to buy at private at 54.20. So to me, if let's say today I'm Twitter shareholder, I think I will definitely sell a bet on Elon Musk to go through this deal no matter what at current situation. Current high inflation, market is dropping. Twitter has not started dropping. It's because there is one big money coming to buy at 54. So since Twitter is not going to drop, who should drop? Will be Tesla shares. Alright, so this is what happening on it. We will look at the chart later as well. So this is on the September job. Yeah, just affirm that Fed has a long way to go into the inflation fight. We can see that Fed has been fighting the inflation, raising the rate couple of times, right? So even like I say, it surged 82%, 75 basis point in November. Don't be surprised. Maybe I just give a dare view. 100 basis point might come into play because after hiking for so many times, right, it didn't give a significant result. Basically, uh, the unemployment rate is still dropping. Non-farm payroll didn't drop that worse. But actually, this is not very good news to the market because we are going to stagflations. Stagflations. I think you guys can go and Google. So it's not very good at this point of time. Stagflations. You can guys can understand. It's actually telling you that high inflation combined with high unemployment rate and stagnant demand in the country economy. So there is many video out there explaining on it. I will not touch on this today. So this is the thing. So let's look into the chart itself. So this is what happened to Dow Jones Index, which I mentioned last week. TP remain the same as 28K, but might not hold. We may see 25K next. So we can see that last week, remember I have one video, I think 2 weeks ago, I mentioned one of the videos say that God give you a chance, right, to ask you to get out. If you didn't get out here, they give you another chance. If you didn't get out here, we may continue to see downside. All right, so market always give you mercy lah, but it's whether you take the hints or not. So we can see the market has been strong. Gap up, cover the gap right now. There's one more gap. So we can say that this candle is actually cover the previous gap. All right, so will there be any cover gap before it drop? Most likely significant. So the immediate resistance we are looking at is here. If we pass by here, meaning to say that the last week report might not be that significant. This drop is due to the fear of the rate hike in November. But not to forget, like I say, this week is earnings report. Volatility is there, so we may see a lot of whipsaw before we see a final market direction. But to me, it will still be downside. All right, like I say, as long as the Fed is still increasing the rate, there isn't any dovish tone from them. Do not go against them. All right, do not go against them. So I'm still stick to my TP at 28,000. You may wait for here to short, but my downside is still at the short. All right, so that is my view for the index as well. All right, so 200-day, those seems to be supported. We can look at S&P 500 as well. So S&P 500. All right, this is the 200-day. If this one goes give way, downside. All right, if this give way, downside. Very high volatility on the earnings report coming up. All right, next we are looking at AMD. Just directly dive into the shares. All right, so I have stated here previously, as you can see, 782 my support level after it bleached. All right, I have not been reviewing AMD. I think I did. That's why I draw some line here, but I'm not sure. This line is around 50.48. So let's just redraw it one more time. Alright, go back to AMD. Alright, so let's put a real support line at this point of time since it's dropped below $50 if I remember correctly. Alright, so this is our next target area. We are looking at 50. So it break the support line, break the 200-day moving average. Alright, break the major support at 72. We are right now looking at $50. Okay, so more room to drop since they come out and say their earnings is worse off, right? So don't be surprised. We can see here. Oops. So I don't want. I just want to remove this circle. And then, okay. I've been touching this since April, as you can see. So right now we can just do some update. Just write something here. Today is 9 of October. So review next support around $50. Alright, I will just write here and then we will review again. Okay, so people who are holding AMD, remember to hedge or watch what you want to do over here. It's not very far off, just $8 simply to reach. Alright, but if you want to short, your risk exposure is really high. Alright, don't do foolish thing, but if you are holding, you shorted, you have moved your stop loss or whatever, we can be greedy, take your jackpot, go to 50. Alright, next we will be looking at one of the things is GBPUSD. So for GBPUSD, right, let's see, I think I choose this one. Okay, so this is what I draw, right, previously. Let's take a look. So this is the day chart. Can you see, gentlemen? 2nd October, pound. I mentioned, all right, not to go to again, repeat again. So I draw two arrow. One is to short when it rebound back. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We are here. All right, we are somewhere here. 5, 4, 3. We are somewhere here. All right, we never see the green color. Okay, we are somewhere here. So I say that we can wait for a rebound because it's overshot for the next drop or rebound here for the next drop. I didn't draw today. You can look at my Facebook page. All right, I posted. Then I posted, wait for it to rebound back to drop, rebound back to drop. So these two arrows still staying with me. If you're shorted here, congrats. If you are more greedy, you want to short here, you may miss your mid lah. But if let's say it didn't, it recovered right now down. For people who shorted, congrats. For people who missed, not to be disappointed. It's always better to miss the boat than capsize the boat, like I always say, right? So it's okay. But people who shorted, just wait for another low, maybe 1.06. There you can see whether you want to partial your profit or then you want to wait for parity to come through, which is the $1. All right, which is the $1. Okay, so this is how you're going to play around with it, but you can move your stop loss to your break-even point to protect your position because you are risking for nothing right now. All right, so where is your risk at the moment? Next counter we will be looking at Yes, Credit Suisse. So Credit Suisse go all the way bottom. So when people know about the default swap go to lowest, they might actually pick it up. We can see the volume spike up because they are actually doing a contrarian trade. All right, try to buy at the bottom. Earnings report is coming on the 27th October. So just watch out on that. All right, just watch out on that. So where, if let's say for us, for my view, right, it's really too cheap. All right, it's really the cheap. But low we'll see lower for people who want to ride this trend. All right, for people who want to ride this trend, just be precautions because it come to the news, right? Everyone will start watching here, volume will start to pick it up, so we may see a more higher rebound before it come down, riding with the trend. So my suggestion right now is not to touch if you have not in, unless you want to do a quick in, quick out for gambling. I may see that 650 might be the next resistance before we see a downturn. All right, so this is the view more of me from Credit Suisse. Next is Tesla. So Tesla has been dropping. Where are we looking at right now? For Tesla, very simple. There's a huge gap. I mean, you go to the day chart. All right, you can see here. So I am looking at a support at $200. It's an immediate. Then we will go to the next support, which is 180. Okay, so this area is where you should watch out. The next support area, it should come here. Okay, so Tesla still may have room to drop. We shall see what is the outcome with it from with Twitter. Or otherwise, we may see 180, 200, waiting for the 200 days to catch us as well. Okay, so that is my view for Tesla. Going to Twitter, all right, related. So this is what happened, right? 54, remember? 54. 54. Okay, so this is the buy out price agreed from Elon Musk. That's why the price tried to went up to that the day. Right, 52 tried to went up. But right now the risk is, will this sustain or not? First of all, will Twitter sustain or not at this environment? I don't think so. Okay, so putting at 54 as the first resistance level, it may hover, but like I say, if let's say I'm Twitter, but I buy 54 in order to minimize my loss, I will start selling out, right? I will do volume slowly, try to hide from the public to sell it out. All right, to sell it out. So I all may buy out when it go higher, and I will try to reduce. But my view for Twitter, there is no way it's going to maybe 70. There's no way. All right, so it's more on the downside game. Is where you want to enter right now. So that's my view from Twitter. We can see from the competitors. I mean, like it's not really, but it's the same industry. Why is Snap right now? Or we can look at a even a bigger market cap, Meta. Where is Meta right now? We know, all right, it's getting worse. Okay, it's getting worse. So there we can see on other index like HSI. All right, so this is HSI. It's also breached the support area. All right, you also breached the support area. We can see key support 20,000. You breached. This is what I returned previously. Strict stop loss. This is I ask people to buy in, right? But if let's say you guys have not long, there is more downside for HSI. Just to stay away. Next counter we will be looking into is NEO. All right, so come to play. Remember, bearish view 15, 12, 10. All right, 15, 12, 10. So this is what I'm looking at. Okay, 15, 12, 10. So very soon we may see $12. All right, breaking the 15, we may see 12 soon. After 12, we may see 10. Not to be surprised. Okay, so if you are still praying for what EV, whichever, just be careful. Next counter is Crown. This is a very good counter. I have tell you guys where to short. Rebound back. Okay, so if you have triggered near to your resistance, congrats, it came down. Alright, so once it break 165, we will see a next support 135. So we shall see this time around will it successfully show a break. If yes, 135 is our next TP. Alright, next counter we will be looking at is on maybe let me see. It's natural gas. Okay, so for last week, right, there is one sector is performing well. Is actually oil. Mainly it's because OPEC decided to cut the oil production at this level. We know that oil is actually at the high side. They still cut the supply. It will make things worse. Oil will continue to go up. That's why most of the counter like Corps, ExxonMobil all go up of the shares itself. But I also wanted to bring to your attention on this natural gas as well. This is since March. I've give my call 6:30. I don't know it go to $9 because of the war, right? Since here, so my call right now, when we look at natural gas, we are coming to the end of the year, right? People will start to get winter, start to get cold. All right. So firstly, we touches the first resistance. Used to be turn support at 6:30. All right, used to be my TP area. It touches, bounce back. So there's two ways that we can play over the uh, natural gas. We can wait for it to spike. There we go higher, or we can enter here. Okay. So my view is we'll never know. True to say, we'll never know, right? We'll never know where will it go, how low will it go. So my suggestion is that if you decided to believe that natural gas will continue since the war continue, right? You can actually long here when it touch 6:30, or you can long at the second level where it touch 550, or you can provided that you do dollar averaging. Where is the cutoff? If you fall below this resistance line, all right, if you fall below this zone, okay, if you fall below this zone, that is not showing a good sign. It's not showing, it shouldn't be go that low, right? With current situation, it shouldn't be a good sign. If you fall below 440, fall below, then you cut. All right. So otherwise, if you bounce from here, shift your stop loss. If you enter dollar averaging, not that far off, shift your stop loss. Okay, two position you can take. If you fall below this level, cut it out. Got it? So this is the play for natural gas. Okay, so that's all for this week weekly market update. Remember, earnings report start off this week. Be risk averse on your portfolio. Trade safe and stay safe. That's all. Remember to share and like my video. See you guys next week. Bye bye.